Hello everybody, this is Tazitis and welcome back to another how to draw tutorial. This time I'm going to teach you guys how to shade actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically draw a little circle. Oh, sorry, I screwed up already. Let me get an eraser. One thing about being an artist, never be scared of using your eraser. Your eraser is like anything else in your tool bag. It's a tool, you need to learn how to use it. Don't be scared to erase anything. Okay, so what we're going to do is if you don't know how to draw, if you don't know how to draw, and you're trying to practice everything, what I want you to do is I want you to do tally marks first, especially if you're doing something like a circle and you don't know how to do a circle. You're going to go tiny little itty bitty lines. You're just going to drag your finger or drag your pencil across the line, and you're just going to make tiny little lines like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to drag your finger all the way through them like you're racing a little car through all the openings, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. Just do like that. See, it almost is like an egg, not like a circle, but that's okay. And then I'm going to go through there, and I'm just going to thicken those lines so it looks a little bit straighter and looks a little bit cleaner. Just going to go through there and just drag the lines there as is. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a dark gray, and I'm going to go through this and everything. Now what I want you to do is I want you to pay attention to the shadows. Now I want you to understand, the part where the light is going to hit is going to be lighter, and the part where it's not going to hit is darker. So this part right here is going to be black, it's going to be dark gray, and it's going to come up. It's going to change. Now basically, in my personal opinion, I think all you would need is basically 2 or 3 of these colors. I'd suggest the black, because once you start the blending tool and everything else out there, you won't need anything else. However, if you want to just practice and everything else and all, for stuff like this and everything else and all, we're going to do a dark gray first and everything else and all. And we're going with how the light is. Now, I'm picturing that the light is behind the ball a little bit, so this area would have more light than this. So this would have more of a shadow. This area would have more of a shadow. Now we're going to do a slightly lighter color like this, and we're going to go thinly with it. Now the reason we're going thinly with it is because too much of this and everything, and it'll block out the white, and you want to make sure that white blends in with this area for this particular project. And what you want to do is do as best as possible to do this. And you want to keep the white at the top, you want to keep that as clean as possible. You want to keep it all in there. Now we're going to take our blending tool, as you can see right here. The blending tool, the flow of it is like this. As you can see, the more flow of it and all means the more narrow, and technically the more narrow it is. Softest and everything else and all. And the size of course matters. But we're just going to do 30 something and everything. Anyway, right here it shows your finger and everything else, but any other app would probably have like blending tools and all. This one doesn't have, your finger is your blending tool. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take our finger and we're just going to drag it across the digital art multiple times, and we're just going to, starting from the bottom to the top, and what we're going to do is we're going to go in motion with thing, because wherever you pull this area and everything else and all, this what you're doing, whatever you're doing is you're going to pull this. Or if you swirl your fingers around in the center and everything else and all. Basically, wherever you pull, that's basically what you're doing. Whatever you do, you pulling this thing is, it's going to drag it with it. So whenever you pull in a certain direction, it's going to make it lighter, and this is how you blend. Now, I suggested, you only need about 3 colors and everything else and all. And the reason for it and everything else and all is because the white will blend in with whatever and everything, and as you can see, with the dark and everything, the black and everything else and all, the black will definitely, with enough of this black and whiteness and everything else and all, see, as I go around the edge, what I'm doing is I'm taking the white and I'm pulling it towards the black, softening the black out, and also erasing some of the black and everything and all by blending it in. So this particular thing this is why you'd only need like certain colors, depending on what you say. I suggest only doing 2 to 3 colors, everything else and all, because otherwise you get complicated in the beginning and everything else and all. Plus, basically what you have to do is you have to take any color you want, It could be pink, could be purple, could be chartreuse and everything and all. What you want to do is you want to take one color that's light. Basically what you want to do is you want to take one color that's light and one color that's dark, another color that's like slightly the same, or color and everything else and all. And what you want to do is you want to take the white. You want to take the white and the black, and you want to take all of this and blend it in. And as you can see, it's already started to blend in a little bit. And if this blends in too much, what you want to do is you want to see how that's blended in. So basically, this is blended in pretty well. So we did 3 different colors. We did the black, we did the dark black, we did the gray, and everything else and all. So this is a gradient, and basically what you would do is you would basically just do this with any thing. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to take the tool belt, the thing right here, and I'm going to do a circle the proper way. You could do a circle this way. And it's gray. So I'm going to take the dark gray, and I'm going to put it in pencil, and I'm going to take that thing and make it squiggly, and we're going to go around it just like this. We're going to take it without an outline, and we're just going to do the dark just like this. And what we're just going to do is we're going to just do 2 colors. I'm just going to take and drag this where the shadow would be, and just going to make it messy. I'm going to make it darker on the bottom than it is on the top. That way the light can penetrate through it, and that way there's more white. If there's more white, then that means it'll blend into the white more, and it'll come out as a lighter color. It'll come out as so much of a lighter color than this, because it's going to blend in with the white. And I'm also doing a couple of fringes right here and everything else and all to keep it like this way. And then we're going to go and we're going to take the lightest color gray and we're going to go like this. We're going to do the same thing to the top as we do on the bottom. And we're just going to make the lighter color a lot messier. We're just going to have them blended into each other. And we're also going to keep the white on top very open. And now we're going to take all this and we're going to blend it together. Except this time we're going to have it be a little bit bigger, so you guys can see what I'm doing. And we're going to drag it from the top to the bottom. It's going to drag it all the way from the top straight down to the bottom. Just pick it up from the top, grab it, drag it, and just keep on pulling it towards the bottom. And you do it in the direction that you want it to be, because basically, like if it's a round shape, you do it in a circular motion, dragging it down to the bottom where it would have a more roundish effect to it and everything else and all. But if it was, say, an arm and everything and all, basically what you would do is you'd have it like almost like a bandage, drag it to where it's like wrapping around the arm. That way the arm looks like it's got color. And then we're going to take the dark color, and now we're going to start taking the dark color and we're going to start pulling the dark color upward and upward and upward and everything else and all, to try to get rid of some of these lines, but also to pull up the dark, some of the darker color and everything else and all, where it looks a lot more like this. And then I think you're done. And give it a more refined look. If you want to pull down some more white and everything else and all, you can. And as you can see, 2 different things. This one has a darker line around it and has 4 other colors and everything else and all, but it's still blended pretty well and everything else. And this one right here only has 2 colors and everything else and all, plus the white, and it's perfect. This is how you blend, and you can do this with anything. Basically, the only thing you need to really be concerned about is the level of how thick you make. Basically, if you have, say, a character and everything else and all, basically you have a character and everything, basically zoom in, do the blending and everything else and all. And if you have to like erase and go back and everything, just do that and everything else and all. But basically, zooming in and then blending out certain areas and everything and all at a time could really save your life and all, and it makes it look realistic and makes it look more bended. Also, the size of your thing right here and everything else and all, where you make it the size of where you're blending and all, the size of you blending, the size of your brush, and the size of the thing and all matters and everything else. Also, zooming in is a big thing. This is something you really want to zoom in for. But once you do this and everything else, you'll be able to upgrade your artwork and everything, and you'll be able to make it look better than ever, especially on digital and everything else. So this is how you kind of blend a little bit and all. It's simplified way, super easy how you blend, super easy and everything else. This is what I've been using and everything else and all. I've just been like zooming in, blending, and then zooming out. And if I had to redraw a line, if I have to redraw the line, then I could just redraw the line, because I know where it was, everything. And don't be scared to redraw like an eyeball or something else and everything and all if you have to, or redraw effect if you have to and everything. Because if underneath it and everything and all looks like it's thing and you looks like it's been blended and everything else, it gives it a better effect and almost like a depth effect. So don't be scared if you have to redraw a line again. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate this. If you guys like this, please subscribe and like for more and everything else. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and I really hope this helps you, and I really hope you make some great artwork out there. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one.